أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته to our beautiful mothers and our fathers, our ancestors, and all of the beautiful souls of the city. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, it is the first of the Hijjah, corresponding with the 29th of May 2025. It is the best 13 days of our entire earthly journey for those of us who has reclaimed the permanent memory. MashaAllah, we are for the soul tribes, of course. We are addressing, mashallah, tabarakallah, those who has found their roots, those who knows their roots, those who has reached puberty, بلغ يعني أشده, بلغ رشده, those who has يعني those who were successful, those who were من الناجحين. Okay. This is esoteric people. It is for those who has mastered the game of life. It is not religion. It is the highest senses of the vision of what Allah gives the human being after he was misled, after he was غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay. Allah says that He had purposely put you into this, in all of us, into this first stage of our realization, so that He would see whether we are fence-sitters, whether we are just BS players, or whether we are meaning to understand who is Allah. Okay. Now, basically, what happens in this situation that you as a civilization has currently found yourself in is that your civilization's conscious was closed in 2020. Okay. Everything which you had believed in previously, whether it be gods, whether it be religions, whichever the case might be, that conscious was, it was, um, it was dismantled. Okay, that reality, that logic, that reasoning, everything that you knew about yourself before 2020 was flawed, people. Okay, including the God, including all the gods. Okay, so entire new narrative, a new script, a new cosmological, a new conscious, a new reason, a new Musa, a new Isa, a new Muhammad. Everything has to be new now. Okay, so you are given 5 years in order to establish the 5 points, and after that, then there would be the attempt to resuscitate life. Qala yani Ibrahim. So you all witnessed this yani massive transition of wealth, wealth of conscious. Okay, the real wealth lives inside of you. There's no wealth on the outside. You have just been taken for the greatest yani, ride of your life to believe that you are rich. Okay, you have it's yours. You worked for it, guys. That no longer exists. Okay, it's time for you to come to realize that you have now come into the Arafat age. You got to know who Allah is. You can't believe now anymore. You got to know it. Okay, failure to know it, you're going to go down into the dark, the dark express, people. Okay, that is not for Muslims. That's not for people who has their roots intact. Okay, who knows where their destiny is, who knows yani, where their ancestors are, who knows and understands what akhirah is, who has that gene inside of them. That is yani, something sacred. That is something that you find from your ancestors. You can't find that in a religion. Your mother has to give you that. You must be a recipient of that yani, DNA, that fitra, that deen. Okay? When you are small, when you're young, when your mother has to activate that inside of your people. Okay? Your mother has to convince you as a child, because you yourself know yourself in conscious as a child. You just don't you just don't know your itinerary, but you know where you originate from, because you're coming in conscious. You are just running a mind game, because they're going to um, download something onto your yani, a curriculum and a language and whatever the case might be. But as a conscious, as innocence, yani, you know exactly who you are. You know exactly. You just don't have an itinerary, because you are made to have amnesia. Okay? But you are the one that teaches yourself how to talk, because your mother just sounds it, and you get to understand what she is, and moving around, what she intends, what is her niyyah. She moves it into your field, and the amount of trust and since certainty that you gain from your mother, okay, on your normal natural template, that is how you have the conviction of where akhirah is. Okay, akhirah is a altered state of conscious, where you turn in, where you go internally, where you understand the world from the inside out, not from the outside in. Now, since 2019, 2020, when your world and your harbors and your airports and everything had been dismantled physiologically, psychologically, biologically, this has all terminated everything that was a reality, that was a haqiqah. Okay? Now, either you are left yani, suspended in that conjure of a reality where you cannot understand who you are any longer. Okay? You will now lose your old identity, and you will now be furnished with a digital identity. Everything will be now spun in your face that gives you the animation that whatever you had now been witnessing is real. Okay, be it your politicians, be it your religions, be it your yani, civilizations that had crumbled, they have to attempt to remodule themselves, to remarket themselves, and to make it look real for you. So they put you in inflations, okay, so that you can feel that things are looking scarce and things are looking great and things are looking out of your reach, okay. It's all psychological spells, yani, okay, because you did not reach the age of Arafat, okay. Arafat is 1,000 except 90 years. Alfa sanatin illa khamsina aman, okay. You as a civilization, we soul tribes, this is our time, okay. This is not the jinn tribes. The jinn tribes had their 950 years. They could not make out how to manipulate the game, okay. Now Allah loves each one, the universe, the great mother, they love each one equally. If something is destroyed, the person is given another opportunity, okay. So يعني وحرام على قرية أهلكناها أنهم لا يرجعون, in attempt to see how better or how they can improve the next run, okay. But because most of us are dead stock, as we all know it, yani, we did not make it. We flawed, okay. We went back to that old god. We went back again to the old master. We again went back to the infatuation of the dismantled reality, okay. We failed to compose a narrative. We failed to make contact with higher beings, with higher sources, with higher levels of perception. Okay, now it's clear that you did not want to know who you are. It's clear that your lifestyles that you were fostered in the last 10 years, 20 years, yani, since, let's put it, since 2010, you are comfortable in that clothes. You are convicted that this is who you want to be. You can live with the ego. It serves your fabricated conscious. So there's no need to take you out of that, yani, out of that lake. Okay. In that case, like, you need a religion. You need a lot of gods. You need Christianity. You need Sunnism. You need Barelvism. You need Qadianism. You need Shiism. Because you need to be in a supermarket, because you can't come right with yourself. Okay, you need to export your conscious to other, to foreign lands, to foreign turfs. Okay, what you are supposed to have known, yani, as a incarnating soul, as a conscious, is that you had to you had to remember, you had to recall, you had to come to your senses as to who you were, people. That is what you had to come to do here and establish here. Okay. Now you have been caught up, yani, clearly as our last generation. We can see as people who are, yani, consciously aware, is that you are not fit to lead the next civilization's children. Okay, it is for that reason that the universe had substituted you. Okay. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. Your oil man is no longer your oil man. Okay. You should know that if you read the book. The Arafat that you are now coming into is a yom. It's a full yom. A yom in Arabic is alfa sanatin mimma ta'uddu. Okay, it's 1,000 years for those who had made it to that point of ascension, of clarification, of clairvoyance, clairaudience. Yani, you have now reached the next stage of the evolution of how Allah, how energy, how psychology, how it is made possible for you to have this in this experience. Okay, this is what Allah wanted you to realize that it is not going to be only one movie, there can be two movies. Okay? There can be many series, there can be many episodes. Allah wanted you to understand that you had to get out of your old clothes and you had to fit yourself into your authentic clothes, into your organic, natural, yani fitra, clothes. Okay? That was basically where you would have been able to resonate during the age of Arafat. You are coming into Arafat now. Arafat is 1,000 years, illa khamsina am. Okay? This perception of what you as a human being had come to earth is beyond any book that has ever been revealed in this time. Okay? The civilizations that you are going to now discover, if you are if you are of that caliber, okay, it is for the refined people, for the masters of the ages, okay, for those who could overcome the spells of religion, of all these sorts of enslavement, religious enslavement. You could not identify with your roots, with your culture, with your organic tribes, with your organic lands. You did not want to be part of where you were born in. Okay, you rejected yourself. Okay, so it's clear here that the God that sent you into this experience, he detects that you are ungrateful. Okay, you are in denial, you are not able to make it to the Arafat stage, to reach the age of knowing. Okay, um, if you get to Arafat, you cannot doubt. Nobody gets to Arafat in the metaphysical form, in the psychological order. What happens in hell is nothing that happens in heaven in the psychology. Okay, um, when you reach that level of Arafat, of wanting to experience the higher dimensions of knowledge, okay, of knowing, okay, then your level of yaqeen must be at least 50%, not even 40%, okay, because now you're going to go into a conjure of a reality which is, some people call it 4D, some people call it 5D. Okay, I call it 6D. But you get there. You get there. This is now beyond the reach of your understanding of the physical world. You are now coming back to your nafsun mutmainna. You're coming back to regaining your sovereign, um, your sovereign trust and your sovereign rights, your sovereign property, your sovereign space. You're out of the hologram. You are now creating your own hologram because you have been freed of that capture, okay, of that separation, the two-state solutions that you lived in hell at the moment. Most of us resides in that mental capture. Okay, that reality for you, it's the only reality that exists because there's no God in that reality. You create your own gods. You fabricate it because you believe that that is how your parents or your past civilizations were. But you were told that the script was going to change, the narrative was going to change, the season was going to change. Okay, now, because you didn't believe, you were just fabricated in believing. Now you have to spend the next 1,000 years into reincarnating into that cycle because you are perpetually, repetitively going through the same thing because you had psychologically, you had patterned yourself into that format. That is the highest, that is the shirk that most of us are currently experiencing. There is no God there, guys. Get it straight. Even if you call him Allah, even if you call him Jesus, even if you call him Yahoo, that's not Allah. That's the God that died in COVID, and you're just trying to blow some air and make you feel confident. But because you didn't find the God for the last 5 years, you are rendered as you're a dead corpse in the eyes of the universe. Okay. Um, so the Arafat that is coming in now, what you're currently now, what we as a soul tribe are now preparing for, this is the since the 27th, today's the 29th, okay, from the 27th right until the 3 days of Tashriq now. This is 13 days of your life now, okay? That is the best days forever, 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 okay? Got nothing to do with which place you are in. It's which space you are in. Where did you enter? Because reality only exists within. Everything that you have ever witnessed for 100 years now has turned into a new version of a reality, of a psychology, of a um, of a experience, okay, an upgraded version. If you were prepared and if you passed your exams, if you did your assignments, if you did your homework, if you found your soul tribes, now you are given an upgrade, okay. This is your reward, this is your compensation. You're going on to retirement now you will be rewarded for 1,000 years without dying, okay, because you have been educated by your adversary. You were supposed to find your own, because Allah didn't make you in need of someone else. You came alone, you leave alone, but you had become so dependent on whatever you defined, and you lost yourself in the process. So Allah just wanted to see how valid could He create a motor vehicle, and see if that motor vehicle can still repair itself at the end of an age, okay, and upgrade itself. So here, clearly, you can understand now that most of civilization, as we find it now, they cannot get to the next level of growth, of experience, and of knowledge. Okay, so they will have to continue believing and not knowing. What you as a civilization need to understand at this given moment in time, I have to say this for the children that it knows the truth already. They know their parents are lying. They know their parents are living through a fabricated illusion, disillusionment. They respect their parents because they are ordered to do that. But I can guarantee you that they're going to make you the biggest liars the moment your eyes close, because you kept something away from them that they already knew the truth. So until you didn't tell them the truth, they're not going to confirm with you their truth. Okay. um, it's just how unfortunate the situation is, where the father is in hell and the child would happen to be in heaven. That's the simulation that is coming out now, because that child is being given the age of Arafat. Arafat is 1,000 years. Take my word for that. Okay, it's 1,000 years for those who cannot die. Okay, for those who has been given that the fear, the doubt, and the guilt was removed from their minds. Okay, once you don't fear death, then there is no longer death. Understand what I'm telling you, people. Okay. It's your level of your psychology, it's your level of your perception, it's the level of how you've been educated in this realm, in this reality that passed over. Okay. When the wind came, when the storm was there, it was necessary for you to go back and to your roots and reconcile, and then get the new script, the new chapter of the next destination that we are heading to. Okay, that's how earth works, that's how life works. It's all psychological, it's all within. Okay. um, we as a cultured tribe in the south, we are now, what we have to understand now is that you cannot save those who Allah did not save. You cannot guide those who Allah did not guide. That's not our work. That's not even our work to judge anybody. Okay, what we have to realize is that there are people in charge of different designated purposes that has to bring the new tribe, the new soul children who are in the soul tribes. You are here now to format your syllabus, to work what Allah is giving and intuiting into those minds to bring the from the first stage. You are going to start now from 5 to 6. That's the stage you are on now, okay, as a civilization. Once you reach into the sixth stage, then you are on the 63, okay. That is the same age that you came to understand that your Prophet ﷺ had died, okay. That mythologies of you believing that prophets die, that was the crux of your fiction. Because which God would send a prophet and then the whole world is not given that privilege? Net die broers van Jakob, die kinders van Jakob wat hulle vir Yusuf 6 foot buried. That is how they run the scam. So most of us were scammed in psychology. Okay. You just have to come out of it. You have to break out of that prison. السجن أحب إلي. Now you are in the 7th years of famine and the 7 cycles of abundance. You have, if you've done your work, you will be guided whether you are going down with your next 7 generations. You are going to come back again, guys. It's going to be you. It's not going to be, you can't die. It's just whatever wherever you what is the word, whichever subjects you flunk, that's the subjects you have to come back. So if you hated some nation, if you hated somebody, you will become that person in your reincarnation because you must pay the price. How do you think Allah punishes you? How do you think? Do you think it's in the fire? People, this is where the fire is in this dimension where you are currently. You are paying for your sins here because you don't know where you're going to from here onwards. Okay. This is the current currency, and this is how we as a tribe now, soul tribe. There is those who has made it the thullatum min al awwalina. Okay, they have no religious qualifications. Hulle is so normal, so plat soos 'n menorah bly. Hulle is net mense wat honest is met hulle self. Hulle is net mense wat luister na hulle hart. As hulle hart vir hulle so iets sê en hulle is complete met hy, dan voel hulle hy is die way. Okay? Hulle doubt nie hulle self. Hulle lewe in wat vir hulle give that satisfaction. Okay? That is the people that will now have been upgraded in their psychology, in their biology, in their conscious realms. They were given the upgrade to the understanding of what Akhirah had been promised. Okay? They are given the fruits of the next generations, the Durriya. Okay? They are going to reciprocate this. They are going to receive this, mashallah, tabarakallah. Those who did not overcome that, annaru ma'wa lahum. Okay? This is just how it is, people. This is not a joke. This is not a playing field. This is not, you must still die. You were dead. You were supposed to wake. Okay? So the longer you're dead, the longer you are going to be played with a golf ball by Ernie Els and Elon Musk. Okay? It's just masks. And then obviously you'll have McDonald's for Trump victories all the time. You choose your destiny. Your president of your country in South Africa, they're all one. All those guys are one. Okay, they're playing you with your and illusional paradigms of what education you have, of monopoly and of money, um, you're just going to become stuck again. So you need an 1 day Arafah. For you, 1,000 Arafat, 1,000 years of Arafah is punishment. Okay? Because you cannot live into that original mind of purity, of balancing, of honesty, of wanting for all what you want for self, yani, for yourself. You still want it only for yourself. You don't give it to anybody else. Even your eie sisters se gun dit nie vir hulle. En your eie broers, hy voel jy's altyd bitter. So this is now the time we will witness now after the 13 days of the Hijjah, and it works ثلاثة في الحج وسبعة إذا رجعتم تلك عشرة. Okay, your religion that you had believed in the previous decade, that is endorsed only for those who are still remaining in health. Okay, that methodologies, that applications, that apps, okay, that old outdated Windows and operational systems, dis vir daai mense wat nie kan yani reggekom het in die Jannah. Okay, that's how it works. Those who are from the organic tribes, if you have a good sense of roots, if you have a good rooting, a good grounding, then mashallah tabarakallah, then you're going to embrace this new wave of clairvoyance and clairaudience and and psychology, yani the ilm, the knowledge that is coming in now is what we had for 1,000 years been waiting for as a soul tribe. And we could not understand how the paradigm of eternity is activated until now. We have reached that level of maturity. Okay, the West is not going to give you that. The East is not going to give you that. Your ancestors has to give you that. They are the original people because you come from them and you return to them. Okay, so this realm will obviously, those who are in the lower dimensions of perception, they will fade. Yani, those who did not make it into reality, into Allah's reality, okay, they will not exist anymore. In reality, in the reality of Allah, they will just vanish now. It will just not be anymore in our minds. If it doesn't exist anymore in your mind, okay, it doesn't exist in conscious. Now that gets removed from the new neurological order, and then those who didn't make it, they have to take a link from the new from Starlink because they didn't make it, of course. So they will live in a illusional and a reality world, which, and you guys know what is really the score. Okay, we know it, but we are not here to advertise that kind of scores. Okay, may Allah guide all of us. We don't, because we don't live in that realm. It doesn't bother us. It doesn't cuss us because it's nothing nobody can do. It's just when the exam comes and you had to write your exams and you couldn't, and you did your copy and pasting, nobody can help you. Yani no one here. Yani اليوم, it's the day where each one has لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه. Yakin naman sa iya paki, it's short here. Okay, because it's all in the mind. It's how you visualize. Okay, you as an individual, it's almost buka time now. But you as an individual, jy sit maar stil en sê vir yourself, okay man, as ek doodgaan, dan gaan ek ek het nou I was cheating on my husband or my wife. I stole this money. I did this. I did it. Okay, I'll probably be people. As you're saying that, you are punished by yourselves because you don't understand who you are. Okay, so you re-sentence yourself back to hell as you leave that conscious realm when you pass on. Okay, so your children has been given the psychology in their realm. In their new psychology, the children that is digitally programmed, they believe, they think the way I'm telling you this now. So Your belief systems has been invalidated for the new age children. Okay, so which means the gods that you believe in, the religions that you follow, it doesn't hold any value in their psychology. Okay, because they will now redefine what is a god. Because remember, you showed them in COVID that you close the churches, you close the synagogues, you close the masjids, and you call it a holiday. Okay, so you proved them everything, and God wanted you to show them who you were so that they could have the justification of cursing you on your exit. That's how the system works, people. That's what we call li'an. Okay? Whoever has read Surah An-Nur and the Babul Li'an, the li'an is not what you think, what your Arab counterparts had told you what li'an is. Li'an is when your own children curses you because they have to clear themselves of the idolatry that you and I had been um, forged into believing it is a holy ship that we must wholly worship. Okay, so people, this days that's coming in now, this 10 days and then the 13 days of 3 days of Tashriq, keep the body clean, as pure as you can. Try to drink and eat onions and at least for the first week. Cleanse the respiratory system and drink onion water. This is yani basalihana. Okay. If you want to live long, it's only how fit your body is. Okay. So this that you need to now understand is yani you have to make sure that the lentils, the bunchis, the basal, the onions, it needs to get into your system now. That activates the new body now of the age, inshallah. This is the soul tribes. These are the secrets. We don't share this. You don't even learn this in madrasa. But we tell you this so that you cannot tell Allah that you didn't know. But we had to tell you this because the age ended. So now this is the split. Yani, we cannot help anybody. Each one helps himself on this planet, on this moment. Okay? But the truth is there. The truth is clear. Okay, it's night and day. We are now going into the new Fajr. Okay, this is the new Fajr coming. All esoteric, all for you to realize that everything you ever believed was only mental. Okay, it was not the reality that you had envisaged. It was only a level, a stage of you having to climb the ladder of conscious. Okay. So may Allah Ta'ala grant your mothers and your great parents the Jannatin Na'im, and may you find the Arafat age of what you deserve to find in this round of elevations. InshaAllah. Barakallahu feek. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى كل